Austrian USB mics. Name a more iconic duo. I dare you. This is the MiCREATOR from Austrian Audio. They lent me this system pack, which retails for about $300 US. Now, they have no say in this review, and I'll be sending this back when I'm done with it. And if you've been a watcher of this channel for some time, you'd know that I'm not the most ardent supporter of USB mics. Though I must say, there have been a few that have broken through. The PodMic USB, even the Maono PD200X. You got the Rode NT1 5th Gen, Rode X mics, and I believe that's pretty much the complete list. But for a USB mic to get on this list, it needs to do one of two things. Either it needs to be a price to performance beast, like the Maono was, or bring something to the table that lets it stand apart from the crowd. No offense, Austrian Audio, but at $300 US price to performance might be a bit of a stretch for this microphone. But if we're going to look at uniqueness, there is hope here. Let's take a look. Now, these are pretty straightforward. You can purchase the solo MiCREATOR main for $200, but if you need that second mic, you're looking at buying the whole pack. Of course, you can buy the main mic and the satellite separately, but interesting to note, there is no discount you get when buying the whole thing, other than this handy dandy carrying case, I guess. But when you get eyes on with this mic, they are rather stunning and seemingly really well built. And when I first saw these exchangeable faceplates, I was a bit annoyed, but seeing the fact that you can have them customized any way you like, that is kind of cool. You can actually brand these if you like. They even include the dimensions and outlines so you can create your own. So not as completely useless as I first thought, but I am still slightly annoyed about the plates. More on that in a bit. Now, this case also comes with basically everything you need to get set up, including this horrible bag of candy. All it does is get me thirsty. It's a joke. Please don't eat the desiccant. I do like, though, that you even have a mic plate for setting up the mics in stereo patterns. It is a nice touch. There is the control wheel on the main mic. It feels okay and even has a nice bump for transitioning between gain control or balance. Not sure if I like it or not, but it is just a knob. In the upper left-hand corner, you have a gain booster, which may be a bit confusing at first. Now, you have mute at the bottom, low setting, and high setting. And you might guess that the low setting is for loud things, while the high setting is for voice or quiet sounds. Now, you need to keep in mind, on that high setting, this microphone has an EIN or self-noise of 22 dBA weighted. Now, that spec isn't the sole judge of a mic's worth, but let's just say that's a high number. Let's take a look at those gain settings. This is on high. This is on low. So you'll notice that the gain went way down. I got to speak up real loud. And back up to high. On the back of the mic, you have similar controls for the secondary inputs. Again, low or high. Same deal as the last settings, though there is no mute. Now, I should also point out that the mute on this main mic only mutes this main mic. Basically, it's meant to mute it while you do something with the instrument input. Otherwise, I do like the styling and how the capsules are mounted. There's true separation, and the shock mounts are actually quite good. Now let's test the shock mounts on the Austrian Audio MiCREATOR. And now for the magic. The reason you're probably buying this pack. The idea of having two separate mics for recording stereo or even two separate sources is pretty cool. Or maybe you're using the second source as an instrument. Let's see how it does. Now, we're going to get to the positives in a bit, but let's just do a bit of airing of grievances. Stuff like these faceplates is pretty cool, especially when you drop this much money on a system like this. But my issue is this. This is the instrument cable that comes included. Now, this might be a fantastic cable by all rights, but it is flimsy as all hell and just gives off cheap vibes. Now, I know it's just a cable, but frivolous things like these faceplates are fine, but you never want to feel like you're taking away from the quality of the actual thing you're depending on to create your content. Probably not a deal breaker for most, but it is really annoying for me. So then, should you buy this, the Austrian Audio MiCREATOR? It is really cool. It is super unique. It sounds fantastic, but that is kind of expected from Austrian Audio. I do have to give them props for not just releasing another USB mic to the world like some other companies like AKG. There is actual R&D being done here. They didn't just slap a capsule into a body and call it a day. And on top of that, this is targeting more of a musical approach, while all other USB mic releases tend to be aimed at gamers or podcasters. But there are singer-songwriters that might want in on the action as well, right? Especially if they want to stream. So that means Austrian Audio is kind of cornering that end of the market and doing it alone, it would seem. The DI input on this for instruments is a pretty big deal as well. I really like the implementation of it, despite the cable. The really big question is, though, it is a lot of money. Is it worth it? I mean, if you're hell-bent on sticking to a USB mic system and don't foresee yourself moving over to an XLR input anytime soon, sure. Considering the name on the front, the price almost seems cheap. But if there's even a sniff of you wanting something more, I don't know. Remember, for $300, you can get a pretty decent setup even for a streamer. Now, you might be stuck with microphones like SM58s at first, but the beauty in an XLR setup is the ability to let it grow. This offers no such growth. So I think this is going to be a personal decision for you. Are these good mics? Yes. Hell yes. They sound fantastic. I would expect no less from Austrian Audio. Are they fun? Yes. Are they a perfect solution for you? Well, only you can answer that question. I mean, this is the cheapest way to get Austrian Audio mics into your house. So whether or not you want to spend the $300 is up to you. If you want to check them out for yourself, I have links down below. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in the next video.